During the lockdown, many of us were only drinking wine at home, alone, or with a small group of flatmates. I mean, there really is nothing wrong with you enjoying one wine with your friends in a small group, but it's always more exciting to try the variety of different things with a group of people where anyone can bring a bottle and we share a lot of different things. So, to compare and contrast the wines and find out what excites us, it's usually quite nice to come up with a tasting routine, something that helps us compare things in a systematic way. I will show you how I taste wine and what works for me, but if there's anything that works better for you, do let me know in the comments downstairs and I'm always happy to adopt something new. Today, I will step by step compare two different red wines, a Spanish Rioja and a US Cabernet Sauvignon. So two wines that are very easily found in any major supermarket, but really any wine will do if you want to taste along. Step one, I would say just look at the wine. I mean, you can do it in a lot of different ways, but generally appearance will be quite telling, and some wines will be lighter, like your Sauvignon Blanc, and some wines will be darker, like your oak-aged Chardonnay, for example. But color is quite difficult to judge, and it's always quite useful to have some white background, a proper neutral background. So here I have some white paper, and I'm just going to look at the wine against the white background. I tried taking photos of that, but well, in this lighting and with my white balance, it's not really coming out alright. The Rioja is quite a bit more red and like brick colored, while the Cabernet Sauvignon is more purple and slightly deeper. Step 2, smell the wine. Smell is very complicated, and it's also a major part of our taste. So I think it's very important to smell the wine in a variety of different ways, putting your nose in different positions around the wine glass and smelling it inside of your mouth, because we have that back olfactory smelling thing. Generally, smell as much as you can. The Rioja was quite strawberry and sweet vanilla, a little bit of coconut, a bit of sour note, so like it's kind of on season now, like strawberries covered with sour cream with a little bit of sweety, woody spices. That's quite a pleasant thing for a summer afternoon. And the Cabernet Sauvignon, as always, much more cassis, blackcurrant, a lot of spicy, woody things here coming from America. So it's quite a big, bolder and more fruit-forward wine. You might as well try throughout your party or throughout your tasting session how your wines smell in differently shaped vessels. So, for example, you can adventurously pour your wine into something bigger and see how that affects your smell. And also now it's much easier to swirl, so the chemicals are exposed more to the surface and it's easier for us to smell. Step 3, probably most fun, taste the wine. As I said, most of the flavor and most of our perception of the taste is smell. But we have a lot of receptors in our mouth that will detect a lot of different things. So there's this typical tastes, sweet, sour, umami, and whatever. There is also a lot of saliva clinging around with proteins, and those will bind to the tannins in the wine, leading to this dry feeling. What else do we have? We have the saliva glands that get very activated in contact with acid. So if you swish your swish your wine around your mouth, then you're gonna activate those and gonna salivate a lot. So like if you compare a very acidic Sauvignon Blanc with something much more flat like a Viognier, you might see how there's a very different amount of acid saliva coming into your mouth. So just don't be shy and put a lot of wine in your mouth and swish it all around. At the end, you either swallow and look at the aftertaste, or you might want to spit out so that you don't get too drunk during your evening. Because of course, the more you drink, the more you're likely to like the later wines, and that might not be what you actually are looking for. Quite a bit of tannins. I'm a bit dry. Of course, I'm exaggerating what I'm doing now, but try and exaggerate as well, and maybe there will be something but you find more exciting in the wine that you didn't think about earlier. Any container will do. You think about the wine and you are like, do I want more of it? If you want more of it, that probably means you like the wine. If you don't want more of it, well, maybe you like the wine, but there were some other factors. Maybe you didn't like the wine. Might be worth retasting different wines on different occasions and see if you would want to have more of it or not. You might want to judge the quality of wine. So if it's balanced, if the alcohol is a little bit more visible than the acid and the sweetness and so on, or if there is anything that overpowers the wine. Wine is like men. Most get sour with age, but the best ones, like us, improve. You might also want to think about the length, how long it lingers in your mouth, if you can still taste it. I can still probably recognize bits of that Rioja aromas in my mouth. With some great wines, you know, you're gonna have your big tasting in the evening, then you're getting a little bit tipsy, you have your kebab, and you can still taste what you had before. What else? Is the wine intense, or is it the wine particularly flavorless? That's also something that will come into the quality of what you're drinking. And complexity. Like as I said, okay, I could smell a bit of strawberries and sour cream and vanilla and spice. The more you get into it, the more adjectives and nouns and fruity, smelly things you will be able to identify. You might end up writing 2 pages for one wine about what you think are different nuanced notes in it, but you might as well just write one thing. Fake, strong oak, a lot of alcohol, red fruit, nothing else. That wine would be simple. The previous wine would be complex. So the more you taste, the more words you're gonna put to different things you can smell and taste, and that's generally a good thing, because the wine is more complex, more nuanced, a little bit more fun to have, and gives you more enjoyment throughout the evening because you're gonna taste it slightly differently as the time goes. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed some wines with me today. I am planning to get a little bit more technical next time maybe, but I will keep varying the level of accessibility so that everyone can find something for themselves. But if there is anything in particular you want me to uncork or unscrew in the next episode, let me know here or Instagram or anywhere else. And you know, cheers! Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell and all of those things. And get in touch.